Hello and welcome to the Corporate Escapists TV show. I'm your host, Christine Innes, and I am super excited because this beautiful woman, Izdiar, is joining me all the way from Malaysia. And I actually just think that we're meant to be. We're matching today. So, seriously.
We match twinsies.
That's it, and I know that we're just going to have just such a beautiful conversation, and I'm really super grateful for you to take the time out today to come and, share your knowledge and all of that with everyone as well. But I'm going to hand over to you so you can do a quick introduction so everyone knows, who you are, the beautiful, wonderful woman that you are. And then we can get into some really juicy, beautiful content as well for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. It's my honor and my pleasure to kind of have this conversation with you because like what we said earlier, we wanted to plant a seed into people, taking them on a journey, each of our journey is unique. So just a little bit about me. My name is Izdihar. I'm actually in California. I was in Malaysia. So yesterday I was in Japan. Today I'm in California. I mean, that's it. The jet set, the trending mommy. I've got two amazing kids and I've got one husband. So my quota is full. So, and what I do is that I used to be a computer scientist. And then I left my corporate world, or in my place it was academia, because I had kids and also because we moved country. So it doesn't make sense for me to kind of stay on to my previous job. So I left my corporate world to take care of my kids, to move to a new country. And I've been on extended maternity leave ever since. And I've been on a journey of entrepreneurial world for the last, I would say, 10 years. I started off when I was doing my Ph.D. So I started doing dabble into business when I was doing my Ph.D. about 10 years ago, I would say. And yeah, so I help entrepreneurs, coaches, business owners to attract more clients and make more sales without ads, complicated funnels, big following, or flashy websites.
I love it. Do you think that, because we've spoken before a little bit about, changing, from, whether it's academic or whether it's in the corporate and sort of going into it. Do you think your journey from being obviously before children to after children has actually changed as well and had a bit of an impact?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my kids kind of like the game changer because in my life, because I knew that I didn't want to send them off to babysitting from 8 to 6 o'clock. That's not what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to be involved in their lives. And basically, they're my investment. They're my biggest investment, my children. And the formative years is kind of the most crucial time in any children's life. Because then after that, that's very, when they're teenagers, there's not much impact I can do, right? When they're teenagers, they probably don't want to have anything to do for me, God forbid. I hope they still want to hang around me. But when they're young, that's the thing that my husband and I wanted, and me and I personally wanted to have a hands-on experience to nurture them, to guide them, to enjoy my time with them, because they grow up so fast, Christine. It's just yesterday I had my kids, and now they're off 5 years old and 8 years old. So
well, mine's 22. So I totally get it. You're like, what?
I know, so it's bam, wham, you're pregnant one day, you pop them out one day, and then they're out in the nest one day. So my kid's definitely a game changer for me. And also my world of entrepreneurship didn't just started right after, I didn't just started, ta-da, here I am. It took me, I think in 2009, somewhere around that, 2009, 2010, was when I first started to start to have a business, start to attract the clients and all that. So it didn't just happen overnight. There's no magic pill. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no magic pill. It is a continuous and consistent process. So I would say that, because I have a lot of questions people ask me. Okay, I'm just going to quit my job today. I'm going to start business tomorrow. Okay, great. But I wouldn't do that because it took me years to kind of learn the fundamentals and master the strategy to have the confidence. I did it when I was doing my PhD. So I was doing my PhD and running a business, because in a way that with business, it's always up and down, isn't it, Christine? So you want to have something stable to kind of support you while you're on your journey. So that's what I feel. So I hope that kind of like gives an insight to people to, I mean, there's no one can say, okay, do it, it's time. Do it, quit your job today, and you go, up you go. No one can make that choice except for you. But for me, my journey, I laid out my foundations and my fundamentals and mastered the strategies. So yeah, I mean, I know that's like out of the, like kind of like the expansion of the question, did my kids change the game? Yes, they did. And also like kind of like, it kind of brings to about of letting or setting the foundations first before you go for the business world.
And I think that's so important too, because for what I've learned, like there's just so many highs and lows that come with it.
Exactly.
And when you're working for yourself, because you have, you are so exposed, you are so vulnerable, and you know, you're giving it all. So you do need to have those really key foundations put in place. And that's okay. Like if they change over time, and
exactly.
you know, I was talking about this yesterday, that, you know, like you have to be a little bit fluid to allow some movement with it, because life changes, but so does the wonderful world outside, you know, social media, like all that sort of stuff. It all changes, that you've actually got to learn and grow with it as well. So I think that's really, really important for people to like get those really solid foundations.
Absolutely.
And that first,
and not jump into things like crazily just because you're not happy with the job. You're just going to quit today and stop tomorrow, because it takes time to master the fundamentals. Because there's world of business, you have the sales. A lot of people don't like sales. So if you don't like sales, how are you going to have your business? It isn't going to work. There's the marketing part, there's the client attraction part, there's the copywriting part. There's a lot of things that you got to learn and practice first. It's the same as riding a bicycle or learning to solve a math problem, isn't it, Christine? You just have to practice first for you to master the strategy, and then you can just start to slowly kind of like venture, take step by step by step. And of course, I would say also to have a coach or invest in a program or seminar so that you have the knowledge. Like doctors, like for me, a computer scientist, it took me elementary school, high school, degree, master's, PhD, like so many years to get the PhD. So it's what that we kind of have that mental that business is not something that we're born with. So the same thing, we've got to invest and learn.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is that, you know, I've learned over the, you know, even just like in personal development, you know, to get myself to where I am, that I've had to invest in myself and, you know, to find that out. And there was something that you said just before, and what I really did like the fact that, you know, it's giving yourself and allowing yourself that time, because when you go into sort of business, so it's similar to whenever you go into any new sort of place or industry, you have to learn a new language. And business has a whole new scope of language. Like you have to learn about marketing, you have to learn copywriting, you know, like return on investment, like all this sort of stuff takes time as well. So that we need to then give ourselves that permission to be able to soak it in. You know, it's like when you go to school, you know, like you learn, you have to soak it in, and then you need to learn how to apply it. And that's exactly the same way with business, that you've got to give yourself that time to take it all in, because we can't all be absolute superstars in absolutely everything. So
no one is.
No. So
exactly, like every master is once a disaster, isn't it? We weren't just simply like a queen of sales or queen of marketing or the king of copywriting. It takes time to, even on as simple as putting a post on Facebook. There's a way and strategy to write a post on Facebook to create engagement, to create interaction, to build a tribe. There's a way of things that we were not born with it. Like we're not writing an essay for school on Facebook. It isn't that. So it's just the learning part. And I think also, which is key, Christine, is to learn to invest in ourselves. Like you've learned in terms of personal growth and business to invest in yourself. And that kind of give you the multiple of return on investment. Because a lot of people, when they wanted to invest in themselves, like, oh, they're like, well, I no money and everything. Well, when it comes to vacation, boom, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 done. Or the latest iPhone or the latest gadget, it's done. No question asked. And those are liabilities, isn't it? Like, you know, in a way, a phone is a necessity, but if you always want to have the latest and the latest, it's a liability because you keep on spending money. Whereas when you invest in yourself, like it's 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, you're going to get the reward from it. At least that's from my experience and the results I've received from the years and the thousands of dollars that I've invested in myself.
Absolutely. I saw a really interesting post this morning that sort of captures that, because we can say that we won't spend, say, $100 on health stuff, but we will spend $100 going out for dinner. And so we sort of justify those very quick instant rewards opposed to seeing the long-term sort of investment. And honestly, when you invest in yourself, you will constantly be reaping the rewards, and you will get instant wins. But every time, like I did a course 12 months ago, and there's something like I sort of thought, oh, okay, I got a bit out of it, you know. Yeah. But today I can actually go back and go, now I can apply this. Now I can apply that. So you're always learning and adapting and like bringing in new knowledge all the time. So I think that investing in yourself, no matter whether it's in personal development, whether it's in business or anything like that, you will constantly reap the rewards long term, and you will get instant ones, but it's the long term investment that you need to look at as well.
I'm totally 100% with you, that Christine, because when I started my journey, I didn't know that where it's going to lead me to. But today I can see that there's so many things that I taught my children. For example, I taught my children how to make sales, how to make money. Like they wanted toys, children, okay? 8 years old and 5 years old, they wanted toys. I'm like, okay, rather than saying no, I'm like, no problem. So we're just going to generate the income then. So we just want to make a business. This is what you want to do. You want to create something to add value to people's life. What do you want to do? So my son chose to make like a keychain. So he chose to make like homemade keychain, and my daughter chose to make a doll. Okay, so and then I'm like, okay, then now you got to sell it now, because you got to get the money to buy your toys. So they literally did a marketing video. They kind of like approach people to, hey, do you want to buy our stuff? Like that. So and then I taught them after that, once they got the money, right, a third you want to invest it, a third you want to give to charity, and then a third you can spend. So if I didn't go myself through the program and the learning, I wouldn't be able to train my children. And you know, Christine, with sales, if you're good in sales, you can survive. Like in any industry. If you're good in sales, you can survive, you can make money. So my kids have been practicing for the last 3-4 years. And, you know, children, they're just amazing, Christine. They don't have the money blocks that we do. They're just so free. They're just so easy. Like for me, when I saw them approaching people, like, did they want to buy stuff? I'm like, oh, please don't let them say no to my children. I can't handle it. I'm the one freaking out. But they're like, hey, do you want to buy this? We've got this. We made this. And then when that person says no, they're like, okay, no problem. And then they went to that person again the next day as the same thing. So I think it's kind of like the investment that the reward that you say, Christine, multifold, it's over time. Me passing on to myself, to my clients, to my children, and hopefully to my children's children, the ability to, what do you call it? The ability to be financially literate, isn't it?
Yeah, and I say I love it because we're very similar, aligned in a lot of those sort of aspects, because when I teach stuff to clients, I don't just teach them in a way that I'm going to contain all of my information. I love teaching them in a way that they can actually go out and teach other people. So the ripple effect sort of like flows through because it's no point me just holding on to all of this information that I've learned. I want to teach them how to do it. So I can't remember the quote off by heart, but it says, you know, if you can teach a man to fish, you can feed for life. But if you take it one step further, and then you can actually teach him how to teach others to fish, can you just imagine what that effect is actually going to have to the whole community? And then it spreads out even further. And that's sort of like how I teach my clients, because I want them to be able to implement some stuff to their children, implement stuff, you know, or even just have these beautiful conversations about what they've learned and, you know, how they're applying it to their everyday. And it's similar to what you've done with your children, because there's no point holding on to it. We want to be able to make an impact and actually make a difference. And that's by sharing information.
Absolutely, because I feel that, you know, it's what generosity, isn't it? It's like when we share something, when we teach something, there's no like resistance, or there's no holding back. There you go. This is everything that I've learned. There you go, because you just don't know. It's goodness, isn't it? When you spread out goodness will come back to you multifold. And I feel like for me, where I stand is that I want to give families the best possible future, whether it's your family, my client's family, their family, or my family, the best possible future, because I believe that we deserve it. Because I believe that we all deserve to be happy, to be fulfilled, that we all deserve to have food on the table, and a little bit more luxurious, like crab or something, right? That we all deserve that. So like the best possible future for all families around the world. Can you imagine that, right? There'll be no more hunger, there'll be no more suffering, and it all starts with us. Like, for things to change, I must change first. So kind of like, right, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to learn, this is what I need to transform or shift, and here you go, this is what I'm training, this is what I'm teaching my clients and my children. My children are like, oh, I'm a money magnet, mommy. Can I have a money magnet idea? And my clients are like, yes, I'm worthy of money. Because one of the key things that's stopping people from being successful is they don't feel they're worthy of either success or money. And that is huge, right, Christine? I'm sure that you've seen this. They don't feel they're worthy of success or appreciation or money. And how are you going to be making, like, survive in the world business if you don't feel worthy? So that's kind of like a big thing, to the self-limiting belief, to have a breakthrough in it.
Yeah. Look, it took me, that was actually probably one of the biggest things I needed to do. And mindset work was really helped me immensely, just in my personal life, but also within my business. And it's really changing those old stories that we've been growing up with, and that have, you know, sort of been implanted, you know, even since we were little. You know, you hear little phrases and stuff. And one of the things, like, you know, is to say, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, you know, like, and, you know, oh, you know, money is the root of all evil, like all those types of things. Like, they actually leave an impression, and we don't realize that. But one of the big things that I started to do is to go, well, you know what, the more I can earn, the more I can actually serve. Actually going, I'm actually allowing it to come in, because I can then give back. Like, I can do this show, I can, you know, go and speak at events and all that sort of stuff, because I've then given the freedom and the ability to be able to do that. And I think that it's really important that we take stock of some of those old stories, that mindset practices that we do, and, you know, just start making those little changes. Because even if you're still in your corporate job right now, and you just sitting there and going, oh, I'm so frustrated, that you can change it by going, I am actually really grateful right now because I get an income and it allows me to pay my bills. It allows me to have a roof over my head. And just that simple switch will allow you to feel better for going to work, instead of sitting there moaning and groaning. You're actually going, okay, maybe where I am, but right now, it's allowing me the ability to get to where I want to go.
Absolutely. I think you touched on a very fabulous point, Christine. Gratitude. Because gratitude is the key to increase the quality of life. Like, you know, because if, like, money doesn't flow to those who are ungrateful, isn't it? Money not going to flow to those who are just ungrateful. So be, like Christine said, just be thankful for whatever it is that we have. Be thankful for our health, for our family, for a roof over our head. Like when I went camping, Christine, the party there, oh my God, like it's a shared party, right? When you go for camping, like everybody uses that party when you go for camping. I'm like, oh, when I come home, I'm so happy and thankful I have my own clean party, you know, just my own clean party. Or I have a clean water to drink. Like, you know, the simple things you can do, like my family and I, like every morning we do a gratitude exercise, just very simply, I'm so happy and thankful for, and I ask my son, what are you, what's the one thing you're happy and thankful for? And he would say, his hat, or a car, or mom and dad, or the tree, or he's got a new toy. So it's just, it makes you feel wealthy, don't you? Like it's just like the blessing that we have is, we can't count the blessing that we have. So it's a really a fabulous start when you want to increase the quality of your life, whether it's personal, your career, professional, or in business, or all of them. So I hope that's kind of like a good tip for everybody to kind of keep up their lifestyle.
Yeah, look, practicing gratitude actually was one of the biggest game changers for me, because it shifted my way of thinking. Because even though I was so frustrated of like not being where I wanted to be, I shifted that back to just go, you know what, I'm actually grateful because I get to have a hot shower in the morning. I get to, you know, use my card to go to the shop. So instead of going, oh my God, I've got to pay for petrol, I've got to pay for all of this, but I'm actually just grateful that I've got the money to be able to do that. And then I get to use my car to go to see friends. Like, it's just changing the way that we look and the perception of it. And I think that's actually, like, if anybody from anything from today, if you can start practicing gratitude, I can guarantee you that you will have massive shifts in your life.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, like, before we sort of start to sort of wind up and that, what would you say would be your biggest lesson that you have actually learnt from, you know, stepping into, you know, being your own boss? Obviously, you know, you've gone quite far, and, you know, you amazing because of where you've come and how you've been able to grow your business. What would you say would be one of the biggest lessons that you've learnt in your journey so far?
I think one of the biggest lessons is trust. It's just, you know, like, trust is the key to miracles in my life. Like trusting in myself, trusting in my coaches, trusting in the process, trusting in the creator, trusting in my family. It's just the trust, because before I'm like, oh, I don't think I can do this, you know, the doubt and the worry and the fear, I don't think I'm good enough, I don't think I'm enough. But the trust of coming back to like, hey, I have a purpose in this world, I have talents, I have skills, I have strengths, and I've invested in this program. This coach is amazing, she's going to help me, and my family is here to support me. It's just to trust that opens up so many amazing miracles in my life, doors after doors after doors after doors. And also on top of the trust, you can't just sit there and just trust, you know, you've got to be in action. That is key too, because actions produce results. What we want is results, whether you're going to get more money, or you're going to be on stage, you're going to have a best-selling book, you're going to be invited to seminars and trainings, what have you not. I think those are the two key things, Christine: trust and actions. I know there are people who's on the meditation side, who all that, fantastic. I meditate and everything, but I feel that to get the results in this world, reality, something tangible, it's got to be action. For example, if you want to attract clients in social media, you've got to be posting on social media. You can't just be trusting and just sit there and wait for them to come. Nobody's going to come to you because you're not visible. So, like, you've got to trust the process. Let's say I invested in a program, on a lead generation program. Right, I take the actions that are consistent to attracting those clients. For example, posting on social media, or do a Facebook Live, or do, you know, different kind of actions in that. So trust and actions. And probably one last thing is to be very wise in having the people around you, because the people around you is key. Some people can be toxic. So we don't want people that are toxic because they're going to constantly drain us. So you want people that's going to always lift you up and push you to be higher and bigger and more successful. People who wants to see you to be more successful. They're rare, but they are there. So you've got to be very wise. And once you get hold of them, hold on to them, be appreciative of them, because these are the people that are the light that's going to guide you, that's going to want you to be, let's say you have a coach. That coach, like an amazing coach, will always push you to grow better, to be better, to be more successful, to be making more money, even though it's uncomfortable. Like your family, they are like my husband, my children. So be very wise, my best friends, in terms of the people that you have in your circle. Because it's key point, isn't it, Christine? Like I don't have that many friends, but the friends that I do have are a blessing. The people around me are a blessing.
Yeah.
So trust, be in action, and friends or your network. Your network is your network, isn't it? So be very wise with your network.
Yeah, I absolutely love all of that, because I mean, it's very similar to how I describe this to my clients to say dreams plus action equal reality, because you've got to have the dream, you've got to take action, and then it all becomes real, and it's something tangible that you can hold and you can say, I've done it.
Yes.
And I really do think that, what you said, that there are going to be some people, and it's, it's very, you do need to be quite, you can be careful, of who you're going to allow into that circle, because I call them the toxic energy vampires that just suck the life out of you, like they're just like one of the
vampire suckers.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that's it. And you're just like going, oh my God, like you feel like you've done a round at the gym or something after you've been with them. But finding that support network. So I really encourage anybody that if you are in a place where you want to make changes, and whether or not you want to shift jobs, or you just want to have a better life, or start your own business, find a community of like-minded people that you can actually connect with, because your energy will shift so much being around them, because they honestly are open and sharing, and they want the best, and they're willing to actually give their advice out there for people and how it's worked for them. And you do find, I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I did this year, was actually surround myself with like-minded people, people that have got a similar vision to me, similar, goals and aspirations in life. And, it's made, like, I literally feel like I've taken these happy pills sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God, like.
I know, exactly. When you're down, they help to lift you up. Those kind of things. It's absolutely key, I would say. There's no other way that it's absolutely key to surround yourself with people. I call them blessings. The people that are a blessing in your life. There are people who are toxic and everything, but that's okay. They have their own journey. Like, we don't want to be sucked into that game, but just bless them, let them go, and just focus on your journey, whatever your journey is. Whether you're thinking of going to business, if you are, then build your fundamentals, start practicing things, start investing, build your fundamentals, be strong. And if the time is right that you're solid to leave your job and pursue full-time business, then go for it. But I wouldn't say just quit your job today and start business tomorrow, because as amazing as you are, like I haven't seen any track record that people were able to do that within the next day. So it just takes time to build, and just be in action every day. Because when I started this journey, I didn't know the miracles that's going to happen to me. Like, I just had a #1 best-selling book. Like, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? I was on Fox TV. Who would have thought? But the main thing, you just keep to be in action, and it'll create like a momentum. Absolutely. And a shift in things. So so always be in action and dream big, because nothing is impossible.
Oh, absolutely. I love talking to you, and we've had a couple of conversations, and I know that we're going to have so many more conversations and just be able to spend so much, information out there to people, and create that beautiful ripple effect. And I really do thank you so much for your time today, to come on and to share your knowledge and wisdom with everybody, and just spread so much love as well. So I always feel so like, I don't know, like I'm like, oh my God, I have to get up and dance or something like that afterwards. I'm like, oh my God, I was like so happy. So, but thank you so much. What I will do is, for everyone watching today, I will put all of Izdihar's information below, so you can reach out and connect with her, be details on her book and all of that as well. So make sure you go over and check it out. Thank you everyone for joining in for this episode.
Thank you.
The Corporate Escapists TV show. I am your host, Christine Innes, and it's been such a pleasure to have you come and join. And thank you so much, my beautiful friend, and I'm so grateful.
My pleasure.
So thank you so much, lovely.
Thank you. May peace be upon you, everybody. Bye-bye.